is your boy coming with this devastating, very diabolical accusations that is being presented now to little Boosie. He's being accused and also alleged for our lady that was 5 years old at the time. The young lady now is 30 years old. Think about that for a minute. Just let it resonate to your mind for a minute. Supposedly she was AR'd at 5 years old, but she's 30 years old now. The story that she gave, and I'm not making fun of no woman being raped or anything, bro, because I done seen some stories and I done seen some sisters that I grew up with in the hood and some family members that really went through that. And yo, that is no laughing matter. It will leave you devastated. It will leave you traumatized. It will leave you fucked up for the rest of your life. So that's not what I'm here for. I'm not here to disrespect the young lady at all or anything to that point. But she gave her story and said that she was at her grandfather's house and that Boosie went in there, started raping her. She was punching, kicking, screaming, yelling, and he just kept on raping her. Her grandfather didn't hear her. Nobody in the house heard her. And her mother was sleeping. She kept on telling little Boosie, stop, please. But he just kept on going. Then to make matters worse, to her words, she said that little Boosie whispered in her ear, I will forever be the love of your life. I will always be the love of your life. I will be the man of your life. I've never heard anything like that to that extent. But you do got some nasty motherfuckers in this world that do conduct themselves. And the horrendous things that they have done to victims are just absurd. You can't even detail them or put them in perspectives because they're just too nasty and too fucking graphic to even look at. But she said that little Boosie grabbed the towel, gave it to her and said, clean yourself up because you don't want nobody to see you like that. He cleaned himself up. He left the house. She went to her mother, told her mother what was going on. She was full of blood. And she also had the towel in her hand that was also full of blood. So, my thing is this. Your mother, who was dating little Boosie at the time, because her mother was dating little Boosie, didn't call the police, didn't make, you know what I'm saying, the report, didn't take legal action to take little Boosie so he could be apprehended and being taken into custody for on your own daughter. And this was a woman, again, that was dating little Boosie at the time when this young lady who is accusing Boosie was 5 years old at the time. I'm going to tell you like this. If my daughter is 5 years old and somebody rapes my daughter and my daughter lets me know that somebody just raped her and she's full of blood, I'm going to prison for the rest of my fucking life. I don't care what nobody says. I'm going to prison forever because I'm going to make sure I chop the fuck up out this individual. I'm going to make sure I make this individual suffer like he never suffered before. But you wait 25 years. Nobody ever made a report, took legal action, took it into, you know what I'm saying, into a matter where, yo, this is serious. This is a fucking matter that should be taken into, police to investigate and to apprehend this person that just maliciously attacked and AR'd my daughter. But you know what? Hey, what's up, Queen? Thank you so much, Queen. I had a lot of fun yesterday in your live, you know what I'm saying? And we was talking about some real, things that sometimes we all need to get out. You know what I'm saying? And thank you that you took your time to at least hear me out just like I heard you out. I really mean that. Man, your words meant a lot to me, and I really do appreciate that. But once again, this is a matter of a woman who is 30 years old now and says that she got ARD when she was 5 years old. You didn't took your daughter to the hospital? You didn't took your daughter to see how she, you know what I'm saying? Because at that age, and Boosie probably, this was what, in 96, 97? She was born what, in 91, 92, something like that? I'm not really too sure. Your daughter would have been broken in. Her insides would have been messed up. And this young lady has kids now. She has kids that are going to school and everything. And she just pulled out a video because they blocked her page and her platforms because her lawyer said that she can't do no more videos. She can't talk no more about it because now lawyers are the one that are supposed to represent her case. So she can't do no more videos. She can't talk about the case no more. She can't talk about the incident allegedly of what happened. But this woman has kids now. So you telling me that your mother did not take you to the hospital? Your mother didn't have tests run on you to see if you was actually raped or not? Hey, what's up, cool? Hey, what's up, Russell, if I'm not mistaken, that's your name? Yeah, thank y'all so much for coming in. I really do appreciate that. Bruh, got a failed channel thinking he eating. What do you mean? What are you talking about? Bruh got a failed channel thinking he eating. What? Eating what? What are you talking about, bruh? You know what, bruh? Look, I ain't got no time for hate, bruh. I ain't got no time for that. We had an amazing conversation as usual. I appreciate you, of course. What's up, cool? But once again, this is crazy for a young lady to come out 25 years later and accuse Boosie. And ladies and gentlemen, let me put this out there as well. She put out a picture of little Boosie reaching out to her in 2024, which she showed the picture. And it's actually little Boosie's face with her little picture and her platform, him reaching out to her, them having a conversation. It's 2026. And this happened to you when you was 5 years old. What are you doing having a conversation with Boosie in 2024 if this took place 25 years ago? A woman that got raped would not be having a conversation with the accuser, with the perpetrator who did this horrendous and, performed these horrendous acts on this individual. Who in the hell would have a conversation or even have a chit chat with somebody that did that shit to you? That's the fucking confusing part that I don't understand at this whole scenario. You know what, Queen? I don't know. I believe if somebody who's 5 years old got raped, I believe that first of all, you should kill the motherfucker who did it. That's number one. But two, you should be able to call the authorities, make the report, have your daughter take tests, take her to the hospital to see how did it happen and to see, how much she was damaged and everything. You have to know all this as a parent. But you didn't go to the hospital. You didn't make a report as a mother. You didn't accuse the dude. You didn't press charges. You didn't do anything. So it lets me to believe, Queen, how much more bullshit are people that do this type of shit to people for a bag? I believe this is a bag, I don't even know how to put it. And I believe that people that make accusations like this to people and they didn't do it, I believe they should be condemned and be sentenced The same way an accuser will be fucking condemned and sentenced for horrendous crimes like this that they committed. This shit should stop. Putting fake ass charges like this on people, trying to destroy people's lives, I believe that they also should receive the same amount of years for lying on people when they point the finger and say, oh, he or she did this to me. It goes both ways, man or woman. I don't remember much when I was 5. Can't count on hand the memories I've retained during that time of my life. Well, she basically said that she can remember full details of everything that took place. But my thing is this, if you remember so much, why the hell you didn't told your mother or your mother who was alive at the time, because her mother passed away? God bless her mother. You know what I'm saying? Y'all didn't took action. Y'all didn't took legal action right there and then. That is the crazy part about it. And then in 2024, you and little Boosie, y'all in a platform having a conversation. What the fuck? It doesn't make no sense to me. I feel like this is a snatch of a bag. Let me grab his bag. And y'all already know that Boosie just beat a trial, a gun charge that he had. He just beat that shit. And he's also being investigated by the feds because of Jay Prince in Houston. They killed one of his homeboys and shit in a gambling game that they were doing. And little Boosie was on the video. They also investigated him for that now. Now this shit, I'm telling you, it's only gonna get worse. That's sad that the government allows these things to happen. The government doesn't arrest those people. Exactly, Ray. And thank you for coming in, my dog. I appreciate it. The same way that these so-called victims press charges and point the finger at so-called people that did this to them, and if it's found out that they lied, they should get the same amount of years that the so-called accuser was going to be given if he or she was found guilty. They should start doing that shit now. That's why women get away with so much shit when it comes to that. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and go for his bag. Oh, I'm going to say that he raped me. Oh, I'm going to say that he molested me. Oh, I'm going to say that he beat me up. Yeah, that's and Queen, I mean no disrespect to you, because you know me, you and me, we cool as fuck. And I know you would never put no dude through that. You know what I'm saying? So that's much respect. But you have a lot of women that do this type of shit. You know how embarrassing that is? Little Boosie got about 9 to 10 kids. And he's never been named. He's never been pointed the finger at. He's never been, oh, you know what? He did this to me. He did this to me. Little Boosie never came out in the Epstein files. Little Boosie's never been named or accused of any type of heinous crimes like this. Now you want to put the man out there after 25 years? But this is the industry as well, ladies and gentlemen. Let's not forget that either. Look everything that's going on in the Epstein files. Look everything that is going on in the world when it comes to shit like this. Some women and kids, they wait 20, 30, 40 years because they're afraid to speak. They're afraid that nobody's going to believe in them. They're afraid that they're not going to have a voice. They're afraid that they're going to make fun of them or they're not going to be believed. So you see, there's different type of levels and scenarios when it comes to shit like this. To make sure they were straight, we can't forget that. A child can't consent that young. And you know what? This is the thing, Queen. She said that she was full of blood with a towel that little Boosie gave her to clean herself up after she tried to stop him because he just kept on raping her and raping her and raping her. Let me tell you something. If a man is to break you down at that level, he would have broken your inside so much that you wouldn't even have kids. You know how many women I know and stories that I have read, even sisters that I grew up in the hood, that some of them got raped. And they got raped so bad that They can't have kids. They can't consume. They can't get pregnant. And that shit fucks with them every day. One of my homegirls committed suicide because of it. Her own father was raping her. The only one who believed her was me, her brother, and somebody else. When I punched the shit out of her father, because her father tried to hold out one of my other homegirls, and I caught him in the act, and I punched the shit out his ass. When I went yam on his ass, my homegirl was like, no, please, that's my dad. Please, that's my dad. Me and her brother were fucking his ass up. You know what, my homegirl, man, I get so fucking pissed off, makes me want to cry, dog. My homegirl committed suicide. You see, when you got nasty motherfuckers like that really do that, they get away with the shit. But then when you got men that are pointed the finger, that didn't commit the shit, those are the ones that paid the fucking cost for something they didn't do. And I'm tired of the fucking government doing that shit. I'm a witness of this type of BS because I didn't give her attention, so she called the cops on me. Her stepmother got the truth out of her, and I was in handcuffs. Wow, bruh. Damn, Ray, I'm sorry you had to deal with that shit, dog. I'm sorry you had to deal with that, man. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. There's a lot of women sometimes out of hate, out of a grudge, or because they want to bag, or because you become their prime target, or they want to set a man up. They do this type of shit. You know what I'm saying? That's why I always tell men, when y'all got a queen and y'all got a woman that love y'all for real, y'all stick with that woman. Y'all don't go with these crazy ass, queen, no disrespect, with these crazy ass bitches that you know get around like that and do shit like that. You understand what I'm saying? That shit about, oh, I love bad women. I love bitches and hoes. Yeah, until you get caught up and fucked up with women at that level, and then you're going to see yourself in a fucking position that you're going to feel compromised for the rest of your fucking life, because your life can be destroyed in a matter of a blink of an eye. It's a pattern between the 2017 post about his 14-year-old and the 2020 IG Live about his 12-year-old. Boosie constantly refused making them men with hypersexualizing minors is beyond weird. Oh my God. He literally went live and bragged about hiring an adult woman for his 12-year-old son's birthday gift. He's been doing this since 2017 and always hides behind street culture when people call it out. Okay, you know what, my queen, I'm gonna tell you something, my queen. I have to defend you on that because you're absolutely right. But Little Boosie, it has also been called out because he's defended R. Kelly and others that have been caught up with these type of accusations, saying that they were set up. He did it in the DJ Vlad show, and he did it in other platforms. So Boosie has been called out for defending R. Kelly and others that have been apprehended for disgusting crimes like this. So I have to agree with you. You're not wrong about that. But once again, Queen, and I really want you to just listen to me, just like everybody in the chat. I know a lot of victims are afraid to come out. Trust me, I know. And I don't want to get to specifics. I really don't. Because when I think about shit like that, I get pissed off. I had somebody do that to me when I was a kid. And the person is dead. Somebody that I would never think that would do that to me as a child. That's why I get fucking pissed off when I talk about shit like this. You know what I'm saying? I never told my mother because I didn't want my mother to find out. My mother found out already years when the person was dead. You see? So when it comes to conversations like this, I get pissed the fuck off. I was a child. I was defenseless. I couldn't do shit. The motherfucker was 10 times bigger than me. And I mean in size as, you know what I'm saying? I was a kid. I couldn't do shit. And I was humiliated. I was embarrassed. I blamed myself, not knowingly that I was the victim the whole time. But I didn't wait it for 25 years. I had to do what I had to do. And once I found out and I took plan at what I had to do, that I was, grown enough as a teenager to do something about it, I did what I had to do. But I know there's a lot of victims out there that are afraid, that don't want to talk, that are afraid that they might come back and do it again, or they might hurt them or hurt one of their family members, or don't want the chance to be heard because they're not going to be believed. And I understand that. And I respect victims that go through that because I was one myself. Queen, when I tell you that I've been through so much in my fucking life, Queen, I've been through hell in my life. I've been through so much shit in my life, man. But don't play with nobody's life like that either. So if little Boosie did do that shit, make sure you come out with the truth. Make sure that you present the right evidence. Make sure that you don't put somebody out there and take their life away for no reason because you want a bag, or because he didn't pay no attention to you, or because he don't want to be with you, or because he doesn't give you the attention that you're seeking, or because he dated your mother and you try to sideline him when he was dating your mother and he didn't pay no mind because he wasn't that type of person. But you are right, Queen. Little Boosie has been given and been fucking backlash because of consequences and things that he has done. And he did that with his 12-year-old son. You're absolutely right. And you know what? I don't want people to feel sorry for me because of what I went through. That shit made me so strong. And that's why I don't play when it comes to shit like that. That's why I say, Queen, the day that I get with somebody, the day that I have somebody that loves me, I want that person to be like you. And I said that because I mean it. I'm not saying that for clout. I'm not saying that to disrespect. I'm saying that because I mean what I say, and I speak what I mean. You're an understandable person. You have a heart. You care. But you also ain't no fool. That's the type of woman that I love to be with. So if I ever find me somebody, I also got to watch out and make sure that this is the type of woman that don't set up men, that don't lie to men, that don't disrespect men, that don't do stupid shit like this just to go in and get recognition. No, I can't do that. Exactly, Ray. Experiences makes you stronger. And it made me a whole lot stronger, knowing that I overcame it. But I still at times wake up in cold sweats. I still wake up with tears in my eyes. Queen, I told you yesterday, I cry. I still cry to this day. I told you this, Queen. So you see, when it comes to things like this, I also, think about real victims that have been through this, through real soul survivors that had to deal with this, that have been put up in these type of circumstances and situations. That shit breaks my heart. You know what I'm saying? All that gangster, all that, I'm real this and I'm real that persona. I'm going to tell you something. If you've been a victim of this, I don't give a fuck how much you try to hide it. It's still going to break you down. When you're around people, when you by yourself, it doesn't matter. That shit has a way of breaking a person down. It'll even lead you to commit suicide. I tried to commit suicide 3 times in my life. Like I just ain't gave a fuck about life anymore. Why? Because I felt nobody would give a fuck about my story. I took such a long time to break it down to my mom that my mom was mad at me. Me and my mom went a couple years without talking. Why? Because I kept it away from her. I wanted to take care of it. I wanted to do something about it. But at the time, I was just too young to do it. But when I got a chance to do it, I took care of that shit. A very high compliment. I appreciate you. You know me very well. I never set up men. I hold secrets until the end when I go hard for mine. Even if we fall out, I stay solid. And that's the way to be. And I believe right now, Boosie, through all his uncredibilities, through all his instabilities, through all his flaws, through all the shit that he's been through in his life, this is the worstest I've ever seen Boosie. Y'all didn't see him in his IG or TikTok, I think it is. The man was lost for words. He was speechless, stressing the fuck out. He already went and pressed charges for defamation of character. He already spoke to his lawyer. That's already on effect and going. He was also willing to pay people to find out the name of the mother that he was dating, her name, her kid's name, her grandfather's name, her brother's name. So you telling me, like I said in the video, remember, Ray, if you heard me correctly, Ray, I said in the video, you are willing to pay to ask for a mother's name that you dated and you didn't know her name? That tells me two things. Rather she fucking bullshitting or something is so fucking nasty and disgusting that is being withheld from whoever it is, whatever party it is, that when it's found out and it's in the open and people know about it, it's going to destroy either life. Look what happened to Mystical. Mystical destroyed his whole life. But Mystical was a sex offender. He did this shit constantly. He was on a constant crash out. And Mystical just pleaded guilty 2 days ago on an R charge. And he's facing 20 years in prison. And they're gonna give him 20 years in prison. Why? Because he already did 5 years before. And he was registered as a sex offender, and he reoffended again with the same charge. So you know they're going to give him the maximum. I think the timing that is coming out back to back is very odd. I have to admit that right when he get that light-skinned baby and light-skinned girlfriend, this is so fishy. You know what? Everything when it comes to the game, when it comes to the industry, when it comes to shit like this, a lot of it is always gonna be fishy. Just like they say in New York, it's gonna be spicy. You know what I'm saying? It's always gonna be a second guessing. What, shoulda, woulda, coulda, who, what, when, where, there, how, coulda, woulda. It's always gonna be them thoughts in everybody's minds. But imagine a victim that really went through it. How do you think that victim feels? Explosive, mad, ready to go at the world, saying fuck the world, ready to just lose their fucking mind and crash out. But deep inside, you don't want to be that person because you know if you hurt a person like that, you never will be able to forgive yourself or even live a normal life. Even once the person that did that to you is convicted and locked up, that you know that others are safe, that you was able to help others, not ever to go through that by the hands of the monster itself, you still are going to deal with a lot of self-inflicted problems. You still going to feel like nobody wants you, like nobody cares for you, like nobody gives a fuck about you, like you're gonna feel like, people are gonna look at you weird, like you're disgusting, like, oh look, oh he or she got raped, oh my god, watch out, that person might come out like that, or might be evil the same way, ha, you know what I'm saying? So the victim feels helpless, feels hopeless, and that's when suicide comes into mind. Mystical went from danger to really danger in jail. Yeah, cool. You're absolutely right. And I totally agree with you on that. Just like with Ray, what he's saying, not knowing when you date is strange and dating someone with a child or children. A person should know the face of the child or children. Boosie doesn't recognize her mom. That's odd. And that's what I'm trying to say. That's odd to me, Ray. That is so odd to me. You're going to tell me that you're willing to pay $1,000 for the name of the mother that you was dating of the 5-year-old girl who allegedly that you are? That seems very odd to me. It doesn't make no sense to me. It really doesn't. And that's why I say to parents, make sure you know what your kids are doing. Make sure you know your kids' surroundings. Make sure that When your child gets to a certain age and you buy him a cell phone and you get him a laptop or, you get him a fucking computer, whatever the case may be, make sure you know who's on the other side of their phone, because your daughter or son might start disengaging themselves from you and start giving you an attitude, or because you don't let them go to a party or you don't let them be with certain friends that it's gonna be a bad influence on your child. Next thing you know, they start running away. And next thing you know, you got lurkers, you got monsters, you got offenders that are on the other side of the phone, the other side of the laptop, the other side of the computer, waiting for your child to slip so they can grip. So you have to make sure you know what your child, your nieces, your nephews, whatever it is. Because once you slip, that monster's gonna be right there, ready to snatch and kidnap or do whatever it is that's on their nasty, pathetic fucking minds. Exactly. Why doesn't he simply hire a private investigator? There's so much fanfare around this. Put restrictions on their devices. And I have to agree with both of you. But Queen, let me get to what you're saying. Boosie already contacted his lawyers. He already sued her for defamation of character. Because, in Boosie's words, that's the most disrespectful and disgusting claim and charge that a man will ever be recognized and known for. And if he's fucking guilty of it, it'll stay with him for the rest of his fucking life and he will lose everything. That's it. And Boosie is a convicted felon already. Don't you think that the law's gonna go and give him the maximum if he's guilty of this? Of course they are. You know what I mean? Look, Boosie beat an 8 murder trial case. 8 murders. Boosie was on death row and he was able to beat them 8 charges. So the government is looking for anything to put this man behind bars for the rest of his life. But another thing, and I want to say something what Ray just said. Restrictions on your kids, on whoever is a minor that's within your family, that's within your environment, that you love and care about, or that you might be a mentor to. Remember, kids nowadays are not like the kids from back then, because there was more discipline back then. Back then, your mama whooped your ass, your uncle whooped your ass, your auntie whooped your ass, the next door neighbor whooped your ass, and then the police whooped your ass. Mama and daddy wasn't going to jail or none of that shit. The discipline was more active back then. Now, if you put your hands on your kids, you going to jail. Now your kids can talk to you in any type of way. Fuck you, bitch. I hate you, bitch. Oh, you gonna take away my phone? I kill you, bitch. Shit, let me be like that with my mama back then. My mama would have broke my mouth, my teeth, my eyes. My mama would have left my face inflated. So restriction to kids now, it's way more complicated. But it has to be conspired. It has to be done. Certain time, get your ass home. Give me the phone at a certain time. Let me get your password. Let me see where you at. Let me get all your platforms. I need to know everything. Because once your kids think that they could be slick enough to get away and you not knowing what they doing, what you doing? Oh, I'm talking to my friends. Oh, okay, no problem. And you so distracted with work and paying your bills that you don't even realize that your daughter's talking to a 40 or 50-year-old man on the other side of the line. Nobody can stop God's work no matter what they do. You're absolutely right. And I agree with that. And once again, Ray, that's something that kids nowadays, especially a lot in this generation, don't even care about listening to until they become a victim themselves until they go through something like that, or they see somebody who they down with or who they cool with or who they grew up with that goes through something like that, and that person explains to them how much they're going through. That's when they start to open up their eyes and say, oh shit, this shit happened to my homeboy. This shit happened to my cousin. This shit happened to my sister. Yo, you know what I'm saying? Let me go ahead and listen to my parents. Let me go ahead and make sure I do the right thing so I won't fall off in that category as well. Especially this era, bro, my generation, bro. Exactly, cool. You know what I'm saying? Back then, it was a whole different story. And you saw that even back then, you had monsters and predatory motherfuckers like that did this shit, and they did it to a scale and a level that it's just fucking disgusting. And that was at the serial killer era. When I'm talking about the fucking 60s, 70s, and 80s. Especially the 80s. But for you to come out 25 years later, which is again understandable because I know it takes time, or some victims just don't come out because they too afraid. They just don't want to deal with it. They just want to go ahead and put it behind them and live their life. And the only one that suffers and struggles is themselves. And they put a smile to everybody. They show a smile. Just because anybody that you love that is going through it and smiles, it doesn't mean that they're okay. If you see a person happy every day, all day, every day, that means something's wrong with them. If you see a person mad every day, all day, every day, something's wrong with that person. You see, too much of something is bad. So you see, it's better to understand the methods and the perspectives of everyday living, struggling, smiling, being good, being bad, whatever the case may be. But in this case right here, 25 years passed by. You was able to have kids. You were able to move on if that really happened. No medical records. Oh, and this is what I wanted to talk about. I knew I remembered. She said at one of her platforms that she decided to reopen up the case. Let me say that again, ladies and gentlemen. She said that she decided to reopen up the case. So that means that, I don't know if it's true or not, that she did file charges, or the mother filed charges, but it was closed because no evidence and proof was found, or it was a waste of time, and the mother and her and the family figured that she was gonna lose. But at that time, little Boosie wasn't famous. Little Boosie didn't have the clout that he had, like he has today. So it still doesn't make any sense. But she said that she decided to reopen up the case. So the documentations and paperwork of you pressing charges and all that, is it in public records? Because all that shit's in public records, and I didn't see anything. Because I decided to do research myself. I didn't see anything that states or put Boosie as being an accuser 20-something years ago of him doing something to that young lady and that matter and that perspective. I don't know, Wipe Me Down came out like 20 years ago. Yeah, but Boosie didn't have businesses like he got now. He didn't own shit like he does now. He doesn't have the power like he got now. So you see, that also puts the perspective in, what if this man probably has done this in other altercations, and the victims have just decided not to come out? Because there's been women that have called Boosie a deadbeat father or no good father. There's women that have come out and say that Boosie has done things to them, but not rape, not molestation or strangulation like Mystical, not at that level. The most that I've heard of women saying about little Boosie, that he basically is a deadbeat father, that he doesn't pay child support. You know what I'm saying? That type of shit. Well, let me see. And you said this happened when she was 5. She's 25 now. Queen, she's 30 years old now. She's 30 years old now. 30. Well, what is it to open if nothing was found? That's the same thing I'm saying. That's the same exact thing that I'm saying. He was still famous though because he had money, and then also 2000 he dropped his first solo album, Youngest of the Camp, when he was 17. So exactly my point. So you see, Queen, my point of view makes sense and your point of view makes sense, but it doesn't make sense because he wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have the type of money or power that he has now. But still, you know what I'm saying? Maybe at the time in his state and him doing what he was doing, like he said in his music, he had a lot of clout. He had people backing him up, and he was famous in his city and a couple of other cities as well. But he didn't have the power. He didn't have the pull that he has today. He doesn't. But one thing is for sure. If he did do this, it will come out because the government is going to push it. The government is going to highlight it. The government is going to make it a high-profile case, and they're going to make sure that he drowns just like they did with Mystical. But when it comes to Trump, when it comes to the other elites and government officials and people that are within that high power, like in the Epstein files, they try to protect them because the FBI now is protecting government officials that have to do with the Epstein files that are 10 times or a billion times more disgusting or what this young lady is accusing little Boosie of. And the FBI is protecting them. But when it comes to rappers, when it comes to elites, like in the sports field, which is in the sports industry, you know what I'm saying? That is black or Latin, not white, oh, they'll bury your ass. They'll kill you in a minute. Yes, might have had street influence though. Exactly. And then Ray says, I couldn't get anything from you then, but I can get something now because you have a bag. You know what, Ray? You said it better than me. And cool, you're absolutely right. That's my favorite words to say when somebody is correct. Facts. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying there's so much going on with the government. And especially when it comes to rappers that made it out the game. Somebody from the hood that came from nothing and turned it into something. And then out of nowhere, they get introduced into another world, like the Epstein world, like the Donald Trump world, like the Hollywood world. Now, you turn them exactly in what you are. And then when they get charged, you push them away. Fuck them. They came from a place that I ain't come from. I don't give a fuck about them anyways. I just wanted their money. And they fame brought me money. But when it comes to them, hey, FBI, y'all better protect me. I'll pay y'all motherfuckers. Don't you know that the government gets paid by elite motherfuckers? The Rothschilds, the Goldbergs, you know what I'm saying? The 12 most powerful people in the world. Those are the motherfuckers that pay police. Those are the motherfuckers that pay athletes. Those are the motherfuckers that pay government officials. Donald Trump is just a puppet. Just like every other president. They just puppets. They do exactly what the fuck the Rothschilds and all the 12 most powerful families tell them what to do. So what's another rapper to go down? Let's protect our own, but fuck that rapper. Gotta do your history, man. Gotta do your history. Gotta do your research. And that's why I say this. Maybe Boosie not being at that level, at the time when he came out with his first album, he was dating the young lady's mom. We ain't gonna get enough of him. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got it like that now. Little Boosie now owns businesses. He got his own, I think it's 2 record labels. And he also already signed artists to the record labels that he opened up. He got restaurants. You know what I'm saying? He got workers. You know what I'm saying? Put it like this. Boosie has bought blocks from his hometown. He's rebuilt the blocks. He got fucking carpenters. He got landscapers. He got construction workers. So you see, the clout and the fucking power that he has now, it's like a mini-me 50 Cent. So he has a little bit of pull now. Not more than 50 Cent, but he got pull. So now, hey, you know what? Fuck that. He tried my mama. Now I'm going to go ahead and press rape charges on his ass. Maybe that's what happened. I don't know. I can't call it. But maybe that's what happened. Nobody talked about Woody Allen or Peter Nagard or Epstein. Of course. And Ray. They're going to keep that away. Remember, it's the bigger motherfuckers that pay them off. Why do you think in the news they only talk about what happens to the narrative, to what we already are used to seeing? Because when it comes to the elites, when it comes to people like the Rothschilds, the Goldbergs, and the Bushes, and the Trumps, and all those, they don't try to put their story out there. They don't put what bad or negative or disgusting that they did. And the only reason why they put Epstein out there is because Epstein was going to get ready to talk about every government official, every billionaire, every millionaire, every senator, mayor that had to do and went to the fucking island to commit this disgusting acts of kids and young girls and young boys. So that's why. And I don't believe Epstein is dead. I believe Epstein was taken somewhere to keep his motherfucking mouth shut. They definitely talk about it. They just let it rip. Epstein was for sure about to get set off. I believe he's dead though. I don't believe he's dead though. My queen, I don't believe he's dead. I don't. I'm gonna tell you something. How the hell can you hang yourself when you in a cell with no sheets, nothing, because they know they had him in suicide watch, and you had a fucking police officer right next to your cell where nobody can pass, and at the same time, like 10 to 15 minutes before they announce his, you know what I'm saying, his death, the cameras were shut off. And 15 minutes later, they were put back on again. That's why I don't believe he's dead. They grabbed his ass out of the cell. They put a fucking pillowcase over his head and took him somewhere where he didn't even know where he was going to be fucking shipped to. So out of nowhere, the camera just goes off for 15 minutes and then it comes back on. I don't believe he's dead. Sorry. The circumstances around his death were crazy as hell though. That was to get him out. Of course, that was to get him out. You know what? That's why I fuck with y'all. That's why I love to do my lives. And I don't care if I got 5 or 6 or 7 that are watching me. But you know what? As long as I know y'all my real ones and my first ones, I want to be able to get, you know what I'm saying, y'all word is and what y'all think. That's what makes it so much better, so special to me. So I want to appreciate all of you. 7, 6, 5, 3, 2. It don't matter. Everybody be so worried. Oh shit, I need to get 100 people. I need to get 1,000 people. Man, I don't give a fuck. If I can make a difference with one person, I'm happy as hell. But you know what? Y'all absolutely right. And Ray, once again, they did that not only to get him out, but they wanted to know what else he was hiding. Because remember, the Black Book. That Black Book has so many celebrities' numbers. You know what I'm saying? It had government officials' numbers, actors' numbers, Hollywood, agents and people's numbers. Fucking had elites that never were mentioned or named, that also are within the government itself, that he was going to expose, that they were so afraid of. And as you know, the dude from TMZ, I believe his last name is Harvey. He's the host. He's the owner of TMZ. He also came out in the Epstein files. And as you can see, it's only me, Ticket TV, and a couple of other like Carcino that have made videos about that shit. Nobody else seems to even do video, but he over there talking about rappers, talking about singers, talking about women, talking about other people, but he's not talking about himself being fucking named in the Epstein files. Okay, Levine, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. People, what Ray said, people doesn't have to be biases to use common sense, of course. But you know what? They want to be biased because they're protecting the people that they know will put their asses out there. They are just as much as afraid because if they don't use biasism, they ask us what we put out there. So for people to have common sense and to use that against them, it will hurt them instead of benefiting them. That's why they do what they do. And yes, his name is Harvey Levine. Yup. And he's an ass. I can't stand that dude for shit either. You want to put everybody else out there, but you don't want to talk about you being in the Epstein file. And you see, the dude that put him out there, he's already doing fed times for being in the Epstein files. And he's the one that said that him and Epstein had conversations via email and text conversations. Guess what? He wasn't lying because the via emails and the conversations were leaked out. And guess what? He has nothing to say about the emails or the text conversations that they were having. And guess what he said? Epstein told him, "You're my good friend. I can't wait to see you, my good friend." And Harvey Levine said, "I can't wait to see you either. I need some relaxation. I need to party." And Epstein told him, "My friend, you in the right place. I'll see you when I see you." The white version of WAC 100. Thank you very much. You see, once again, that's why I fuck with my peoples on my live. You know what I mean? The truth is the truth, that they're going to hide it as much as possible. And that's why I know now that this came out on Boosie, they're going to try everything in their power to bring Boosie down. They're going to try to give him the maximum if he's found guilty. And even if he beats it, they still gonna talk bad about him. They still gonna degrade him. They still gonna disrespect him. And they still gonna say he's a bad parent. He ain't a good father. He ain't good with women. Look how they protect Drake. Look at the privileges from black brothers and white brothers have. Look how they protecting Drake. They're protecting Drake so much. And throughout Drake's career, he has been exposed kissing minors, having parties with minors, and even having, I don't even want to say it, but allegedly, even having bestiality parties with P. Diddy and several others. Bestiality parties. Y'all don't remember that he was once seen leaving a New York hotel with a dog mask on? A dog mask on. That was a bestiality party thrown by who? By Epstein. But they don't talk about that when it comes to Drake. Why? Why? Because of the privilege, the color privileges. You heard about what Drake PR team do? Yeah, I did a video. Cool, I did a video about that, yeah. And guess what? That same team were also connected to Epstein. But you don't see them putting Drake out there like that. Ray, Tasha K wants to do an interview with the female accusing Boosie. And guess what? She's gonna get it. But she can't talk about the case because if she talks about the case, one, she can lose the case right there and then on top of that, they can use that against her. Because once your attorney tells you you cannot talk about your case with anyone, you can't. Once you do that, you can lose the case. You can lose the battle right there. The judge right there will drop the charges. Once you're demanded not to talk about the case, you can't do it. Joe Budden definitely be on that bestiality shit. Kevin Gates too. Facts. Yeah. And you can see, if y'all go down on my videos, I did this video about what? 3 or 4 months ago. Y'all see it on my channel. Drake is leaving a hotel with a dog mask on. That's what you call Illuminati ritual parties. Like when the elites get together and they do all the rituals. Well, Drake had to go through what they call a humiliation ritual. Like they did to Lil Wayne, they did to Nicki Minaj, and they done it to so many of them. And he was seen leaving there, and when they asked him one time in the interview, he had no comments. He just laughed it off. And when me and several others, and even Childish Gambino brought it up, because Childish Gambino gave me props for bringing out the video. And Childish Gambino had a posted video, and one of the posted video, he had like 5 cards. You know, like cards like you play when you play spades and shit like that. And in one of them, it had Drake in the background with dogs. If y'all don't know what that means, I just told y'all. Gambino called Drake a bestiality lover. So you see, there's so much to this industry that is so disgusting, but it only comes privileges. The whites have more privileges and are more protected than the blacks, Latins, and any other culture in general when it comes to the fucking industry. You know how many fucking elites are involved in the Epstein files that are more dangerous and more fucking disgusting, 10 times more disgusting, and Boosie is like that, but they're 10 billion times more disgusting than anything that you can ever imagine, but they protect them. Why? Because these are elites to rebuild and remake amendments and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? These are motherfuckers that imply and break laws to make new laws, and they are the most disgustingest people in the motherfucking world. Look at Andrew, you know, the prince's brother. They arrested his ass and they took him out the kingdom. Why? Because his brother, who's also a nasty motherfucker like that, didn't want it the pressure, didn't want it all the backlash that he was also going to receive. Princess Diana was going to expose the royal family. That's why she was assassinated. Y'all got to put 2 and 2 together, y'all. And also humiliation rituals. Yeah, that's what I called it, cool. They call it humiliation rituals. Yep. When you don't listen to the higher authority, which is the devil, the 666, which is the skulls and bones, and the other quotes that they have, like Freemasonry and all that, they do something to you called the humiliation ritual. You're absolutely right. Yeah, like something like the Pokemon cards, right? Absolutely right. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. He had one, I don't know who it was. I think it was of Donald Trump, if I'm not mistaken, one of Drake and several other people. And the one with Drake, it had dogs. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he's feasting for bestiality with dogs. This is what they do. This is the disgusting act like that they do. And they're going to do everything in their power to make sure that they go ahead and do everything to little Boosie to get him out the way. Y'all better believe it. They're not going to let this shit go, y'all. They're not. to distract the fact of so many people coming out of the Epstein files? Look at the Russian senator that was friends with P. Diddy and Jay-Z and Beyonce. He so-called committed suicide because he was going to expose Epstein and everybody that was within the Epstein files on that island and all the shit that they did. This man was a fucking elite for the Russian government. And so-called he committed suicide. His daughter came out in the news and said, my dad ain't commit suicide. Y'all shut my father up because my father was going to expose all of you motherfuckers. That's why y'all killed my father. Yep, Diddy and R. Kelly. You see, thank you so much for correcting me. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yep, you're absolutely right. So yeah, just like I was saying, the Russian senator supposedly committed suicide at 3 o'clock in the morning with a gun. They found a gun and blood all over the floor. And at 4 o'clock in the morning, he was pronounced dead in a Moscow Russian hospital. Ticket TV did the interview. I don't know if y'all know who Ticket TV is, but that boy, when it comes to information like this, he's the shit. I love Ticket TV because he always exposes what others are afraid to expose. Because they don't want to lose their channels and shit. Fuck that. Fuck that. If it's going on and you're a content creator, let it be known. I don't care if you're white, black, land, Chinese. If you are that type of monster, expose that shit. But yeah, that's what's going on. And this so-called victim is now doing to little Boosie and saying the unthinkable about little Boosie. But little Boosie in the past, once again, I'm not going to sit here and be biased, got a grown-ass woman to sleep with his 12-year-old son. Facts. Women have called little Boosie deadbeat fathers. Facts. But little Boosie has never been named or accused or pointed the finger at for any type of rape charges. Never. And that's why I will say, this does not make no sense at all. You wait 25 years to not point the finger at somebody that made it out, that basically made it from nothing, that had to struggle his way out, who suffered through all his childhood and I think he lost his mother at a very young age of cancer, if I'm not mistaken. His grandmother took care of him, if I'm not mistaken. And you wait this long? Now, if you did do that, and if she waited that long because she was afraid because of the popularity and favoritism that little Boosie started to gain, and she didn't want to put her family in that situation knowing that something will happen to her, that's a different story. Then I have to sit here and shut the fuck up and say, you know what, young lady, you was absolutely right. I apologize. But until then, I don't believe little Boosie did it. I just don't. 25 years later, and you know what? Once again, I know multiple people just like myself that had to deal with that. And I dealt with that when I was a kid. I was a minor. I was only yay high when I was put through that situation. So if she's playing with that shit, God's gonna punish her. Because in reality, God doesn't like ugly. God hates ugliness like that. You don't play with people's lives like that. But if he did, committed them disgusting acts, you know what? God is going to punish you, Boosie. You will find out why God is God. And he will take everything away from you. And they will throw the key away from you. Look what they did to Mystical. Don't you think they'll do it to you? Okay, play with it if you want to. Because they'll do it to you too. But that just comes to show you the world that we live in today. If it's either because she wants a bag, or either she has a grudge, or she was mad because little Boosie was dating his mother, and little Boosie did his mother dirty, or decided to cheat on her mother, I don't know. But at the age of 5, he raped you? and you was full of blood, and you told your mother while you was full of blood with a towel full of blood, you was screaming and yelling and punching and nobody heard you, you was at your grandfather's house? This doesn't make no sense, dog. First of all, I ain't gonna let none of my daughters, boyfriends, or anybody come in our house at such a time. Oh, bruh, you want to see my daughter? Well, you're going to have to come see her tomorrow, bruh. Because at this time, you ain't coming in here. Supposedly, your mom was sleeping, your grandfather was sleeping, and you were screaming and yelling and they didn't hear you? And then he told you in your ear that he will forever be the love of your life? It just doesn't make no sense. If this isn't true, she'll be a victim of profit. It'll be a slap in the face of real victims. And Ray, thank you for saying that, because that's exactly what I was trying to say. You said it better than me. Thank you very much. That's exactly what it will be. It will be a disrespect to real victims that really, really, till this day, even go through it after years of trying to deal with it and cope with it and trying not to let them get the best of them. It still does. It still resonates to them. It still fucks with them. You know, man, I tell you, dog. You know, that's why I said, if it was my daughter and my daughter came up to me bleeding, talking about she got raped, man, I would have been in prison right now. Because that dude would not make it out the house. I would have chopped his ass up in pieces and burned him alive. Fuck that. I don't care what nobody thinks of me. Nigga, you raped my daughter and think you're going to walk away scot-free? Hell no. And that's why I find the story so difficult to believe. But if he did do that to her, you know what? My heart goes out to you. And I'm sorry you had to deal with that type of shit. Because I know it's hard as fuck to deal with shit like that. And it's not right. It's not right for any man or any woman to do that to a child. Real shit. But if you're lying, oh, God's going to punish you. Woo! God does not like ugly. God does not like shit like that. Yeah, you might get a couple of years of living a lie and living a good lie life, but remember, what you do bad unto others will be done bad unto yourself 10 times worse. Karma is a bitch, and it does exist. And that's why people need to take notice and remember, Cool, Queen, and Ray, what I said earlier. Make sure you stay paid attention to what your kids are doing. Always make sure, let me get your phone at a certain time. Let me get your password. Let me get your tablets. Who you talking to? Who you in Facebook? You in Twitter? You in this? Let me see what pictures you sending. Let me see your conversations. Because you living in my house. Oh, I hate you. Why you always all up in my business? So, I just sent him a sexy picture. Motherfucker, you 12, 13 years old, you sending sexy pictures? Who is this person? Oh, he's just a friend, Mom. And the friend might be 30 or 40 years old. Oh, bitch, nah. Let me get all that. As a matter of fact, little motherfucker, you are fucking punished until I say so. As a matter of fact, go take a shower, take your ass to sleep. Let me get the TV. Let me get everything. You screaming, nobody comes. You go to your mom, and mom doesn't do anything. That's the part I can't grab into. And that's exactly my point. That's one of my points, Ray. You screaming, yelling, kicking him, punching him, telling him to stop, stop, stop. And you said that he kept on raping you repeatedly, and then took the time to whisper in your ear, I will forever be the love of your life. Doesn't make no sense. That's why you have to make sure you know your child's business and whereabouts. And at 5 years old, you know what I'm saying? Your child should not be nowhere near a grown-ass man that you started dating. You know what I'm saying? And especially if you're going to proclaim to him being like that, even if he's not like that, you want to make sure that you have your child close to you. Because you just can't go over here and date somebody and expect them to trust them around your kids or around the people that you love. No, even people that you love. I'm not going to have my 5-year-old daughter, you know what I'm saying, around a woman that I'm with, that I just brought to the house. No. I gotta see your behavior. I gotta see how you move around my daughter. I gotta see how you treat my daughter. Because at the end, I might leave you with my daughter. And next thing you know, you might flip the script of my daughter and start treating her bad. And then when I get to the crib, you right back into treating my daughter right. And then my daughter starts acting different. So in that matter, set cameras up. Set cameras up in your house. Oh, you invading my privacy. Bitch, I don't give a fuck. That's my daughter. You have to be careful nowadays. It's like when you are suspicious that your wife or husband are cheating on you, what do? Some people hire a private investigator, or some people just put cameras on their houses. Next thing you know, you at work and your wife is fucking a man in your bed, or your husband is fucking a woman in your bed. You have to take drastic measures at this level because you don't know who you bringing inside your life. That might eat your mind up. They might fucking manipulate you into believing in them, into loving them or loving her. And next thing you know, they're the most wildest and most narcissistic and dangerous and monstrous people or person that you ever met. But you just don't know because they tricked you into believing that they were good people. So you have to be careful who you bring around. Exactly, this my damn house. You don't like my rules, don't come to my spot. You motherfucking right. You absolutely right. Yes, sir. And I totally agree with it. And that's what I'm saying. If your rules don't apply and they take your rules as a joke, they're gonna do whatever and they're gonna take advantage of it. Shit, can't do it to me. You living under my roof. You living under my care. You do what I tell you to do. And if you don't like it, go to the room. Learn how to start boxing. Talk under your breath. And be careful what you say because you might get popped in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and that's why I just find her story so hard to believe. I can't resonate with it. I done heard so many stories of so many victims, and when they say their stories, you can see their pain. You can see that they really got raped, molested, that they really got touched in a bad way, that they really was done bad in that way. You can tell. But when it comes to this story, I don't know. It's fishy. It's like the Queen says. It's very fishy. It doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't. But if it did happen, once again, with all my heart, I apologize. I'm sorry that you went through it. And I hope that you get the justice that you deserve. Because I can't be biased. If I'm biased, then that means I'm disrespecting every victim that has been raped and has been done bad in that way. So I can't be biased either. But her story doesn't make no sense. It doesn't. Let me light up a cigarette, y'all. Y'all give me a minute. Just doesn't make sense, man. It just doesn't to me. And you know what, Ray? You said something that hits me. The screaming, the yelling. Nobody came out and helped you? Then that must have been a big ass house then. That must have been a fucking humongous mansion if that's the case. And if this happened in Louisiana, where little Boosie resides at, you know, where he was born at? If this happened in Louisiana, you must have lived in probably the biggest mansion in Louisiana in the hood at that time, because when a child screams and yells to the top of their lungs, You gonna hear them. I don't care what you say. You're gonna hear that child. And you're gonna tell me that you're not gonna wake up and help that child? It doesn't make no sense to me, man. And that's the shit that we all also gotta be careful in. Because you have a lot of women that want to take the success and want to take the accomplishments and want to take the achievements that a man has, you know what I'm saying, gather up through the years, that they had to struggle, that they had to sacrifice, that they had to go through to be able to get in the position and in the spot that they are. So always keep your eyes open for people that hate on you, for people that envy you, and for people that are jealous of you. You always gonna have your haters. Like Cat Williams says, hey, if you ain't got no haters to hate, then feel free to hate on me. Because people are always gonna hate on people for being successful. I don't care who you are. But it's also sad, people that make it and people that are successful, a lot of them fear that they can take advantage of the less vulnerable, that they can take advantage of those that don't got it. And Hollywood and the government officials and the government itself is one that's an example of them doing that. They get away with shit like that. Life is like in the movies. Just think about something sad and will come. Women love their children 90.99% of the time. And something like this, Boosie would have been in jail. Thank you. That is so true. Facts. Facts, facts, facts. He would have been in jail. I'm going to tell you something. And especially when it comes to a black woman. Woo! When it comes to a black woman, to a black mama, just like a Latin mama that love their kids, man, little Boosie would have been dead, bro. Little Boosie would have been dead. Not in jail. He would have been dead. But let's see how the case goes. Let's see what happens. You know what I mean? Let's see how far more, you know what I'm saying, this victim is willing to go, willing to take it, willing to expose, willing to show, and willing to do. So other victims that were maybe on the mind of the so-called accuser won't go through if this is true, if this is something that happened for real. How many other victims are out there that we never knew about or never will know about? You understand what I'm saying? So if it is true, then maybe there's other victims out there that never, just like her, never wanted to come out because they were scared for their lives. I don't know. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to end it like this. First of all, Ray, thank you for coming. Cool, thank you for coming. Queen, thank you for coming. And all those that watch, thank you for coming. I really, really do appreciate it. You know what I mean? Thank y'all so much. But I'm going to end it like this. If Boosie did do it, and it's found, and it's proved that Boosie did do this, imagine how many other victims are out there that never had the chance or never wanted to come out because they felt that they wasn't going to be believed, that nobody was going to believe their story or what they went through. Imagine how many others out there were brutally and even put in this type of circumstances, situations. But also, if it's a lie, imagine how many men that this so-called victim actually try to pull or probably try to snag off or probably try to engage herself to get a bag, to actually be looked more as a fucking bag snatcher than a victim. Has this woman probably set up other men to put men through and not even give a fuck of the repercussions and situations or what will happen to her. And I believe that women like that do that to men for no reason, should get the same amount of years of them accusing men that never did shit to them of what the accuser is also facing. Don't ever forget, y'all. There's always three sides to a story. His truth, her truth, and then the real truth. Remember, and nothing to the apocalypse, how I like to say it, to that perspective. If a woman is engaging herself to narrate a story that doesn't make no sense at all, it's willing to go through this to destroy a man's life. Imagine how many other women will do some shit like this just to fucking get a bag and for people to feel sorry for, knowing that not a damn thing happened to them. But if it did, imagine how many other females now will come out because this one victim came out and started speaking. It's going to give leverage and it's going to allow other victims to come out and say and speak their story of what they went through if Boosie is found out to being guilty and true that he did committed these horrific and disgusting things and acts. But without further ado, once again, thank you to everybody. I appreciate it. Much love, much respect. I'll be doing another live once I find out more information on what's going on, and I'll keep y'all updated. Besides that, this is your boy Chico Black. Much love, much respect. I'm out of here, y'all. Peace.